Alright guys, so welcome along then to the Japanese Grand Prix here. Just a bit of an unscheduled race for streaming today. So we got some guys from quite a few different leagues. I know we got some guys from Slydog Racing. I got a few guys from PGL. I think some guys from L2S League and maybe some other leagues as well joining us today for this race. We got 15 drivers on track. Should be an interesting session. I always have a lookout for whenever these guys are doing something. If I'm not streaming any other race, we're just gonna be doing stuff like this. So as we do have ice cream getting out on track already, we're going to see how this goes with a short qualifying session and then getting into a 50% race. So let's see who we got. We got ice cream, we got ENMC, we got Sana, Beefy, Joel, Angry Orange, James, Dicona, Hazard. Hazard is a driver I haven't seen driven before. We got Clark there. I think he's from a different league, SNRS, maybe, possibly. If he is, probably let me know which league that is. So that's Clark. We got, I'm not sure how to pronounce that one. OCT, 069, Sarge, Walker, Slayer, and I think I was just gonna call that Ryan for now. And it's TTV, probably another league. I'm not sure. I know these guys usually put their league abbreviations in front of their names whenever they're an admin or something or steward in the league. So do call it out in chat if you want to, guys, so we can just let everyone know how many different leagues are racing together here in this fun race for the afternoon. Well, it's afternoon for me. I think it's quite evening for most of you guys. Oh, it's 10 p.m. for him there. Yeah, it's just 4 p.m. for me right now. Got off work like an hour ago, so this is my afternoon doing this, then getting some rest, and then going out back just a little bit again. So it should be quite a fun race actually. And this is the only track actually shaped as some sort of 8. Yeah, it's a figure 8 track if you kind of just, I guess, move it around a little bit. But yeah, that's what it is. So it's quite an interesting track. A lot of overtaking opportunities here. Some very high speed chicanes on Japan as well. So it should be interesting to see how well some of these guys are going to do on this track. As we have Ice Stream beginning his hot lap. I think he already invalidated. So he's going to have another go at that. Let's see who else is out here right now. I think we got ENMC about to begin his hot lap. How far? Oh, he's not that far away into it as yet. We might have some other guys beginning hot laps here. Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, so we have Angry Orange, so we're going to follow his car around just a little bit. As you're going to see, these guys, it's going to look very fast-paced so that the cars go around the track, because it is, that's the way it is anyway. I think I'm having some sort of issue here. Why is it not switching from TV pod view? So James is already out of the session. Not sure what happened to James there. Let's have a look at this guy Hazard here. So he started the hot lap. Looks like he invalidated it already. As I seem to be having some sort of issue switching camera here. What the hell is going on, man? Oh, there we go. Hopefully my controller is not shot. So I'm just going to call this one as YOTC for now. I'm not sure how we pronounce it. If I do get it wrong, guys, do forgive me about that. Some of you have not seen a race before. So he is on UTC is on a hot lap right now in that pink Mercedes. Let's see how best of a time he can get going around here. So just about under 14 minutes left in the session now. Just remember, guys, short qualifying equals 18 minutes. That's it, and then we go straight on into the race. Alright, so Joel goes 128.6 and takes P1 for now until someone else gets a time or better time in. As we're still following YOTC around, well, YOCT, sorry. I keep getting this mixed up. I think Hazard is another lap as well. So we have a few more times put it in as well there. Oh, there we go. YOCT goes first with a 128.2. Angry Orange now in P2 at a 128.6. Oh, someone causing a Williams to spin just a little bit there. Hopefully that wasn't intentional. We have Joel in P3 with a 128.6 as well. Mere thousandth of a second separate these guys here. Slayer in P4 to 129.3 and Sanat in P5 at a 129.8. Still the rest of the grid yes to post any sort of lap time, as we're going to have a look at what kind of time everyone's going to post. I got Clarky Boy on an outlap right now. I'm really interested to see what kind of time he's going to be putting in. I'm going to be having a look at some of these guys that whose PSN names are new to me, just to see what they can do. YoCT, quite impressive with his 128.2 so far. Still have quite a few guys yet to put some time in. Yeah, so I see you said Jocto. So it's either a Yocto or Jocto. I'm not sure which one. Whichever one it is, please let me know. And that's Clarky Boy off track. Let's go back to Sarge and see what kind of time he's going to be putting in here. Sorry about that, guys. Went off the mic for a bit there. So Yocto has asked me to say excuse to the Williams from him. Whoever's driving the Williams. Who's that? Let's see. Not sure if we can check it here. Well, in a minute anyway. When the final table comes up, I think that was Walker in one of the Williams, and I'm not sure who else is driving a Williams, if there's anyone else. Alright, so let's see what kind of times we have so far. So Clarky boy takes P1 provisional pole for now with a 127.4. Only 127 so far. Yocto takes P2 at a 128.2. Yocto, what league do you usually race in? Please put it in chat so I'll know. We got TTV Ryan, or Rayan. I usually would say Rayan, but I'm just gonna say Ryan. With a 128.4 in P3. Pretty good times from all three of these guys. I've never seen any of these three driven before, so they're pretty fast guys. Then we got Walker, who I've seen driven before, in P4 at a 128.4. I got ENMC in 5th with a 120.5. I've seen him driven as well. Angry Orange, Joel, Beefy, Sarge, I've just seen driven as well. Hazard, still new to me. Sanat, Slayer, and Ice Stream, I've seen these guys and James driven as well. Oh, and let's see, someone moved up there. I think that was Sarge. So only James didn't get to set the time. He did crash out of the session. I assume he did. Anyway, as we have just under 5 minutes left here in qualifying at Japan. Very interesting start. I used to hate Japan, I'll be honest with you. It's still a bit shaky for me going around most of the turns in Sector 1, but I'm getting used to it. I do love the fast pace of the track that it is. I'm getting used to a lot of the corners now, so it's getting a little better for me, I'll say. But still, I do like driving here. It's a pretty interesting track, but I'll be honest, for a few months ago, I never actually liked it. I think I like it better on F1 2020 though. Spain as well is another track I've been enjoying. So let's go through a list as we have it. So Clarky Boy P1, Yocto P2, Ryan P3, Walker P4, ENMC goes P5, Angry Orange is currently in P6, Joel currently 7, Beefy is currently 8, Sarge 9th, Hazard is currently in 10, that's the top 10 as they go. Hazard is out on another lap, Sanat is 11, Slayer 12, the Colonel 13, and Ice Stream in 14. James will be starting 15 down at the back because he did crash out the session. If anyone else joins before we do get to the race, they're going to be, I think, after James on the starting grid. Oh, and Hazard goes second with 127.7. Oh, and that's two 127s we have in the session so far. So pretty fast times from these guys. I'm enjoying, seeing this qualifying as it's going so far. So I imagine we're going to have a pretty exciting race, a pretty challenging one actually, and have a lot of battles happening on track from start to finish. So it should be an interesting one. Hopefully everyone joins on and watches it. If you don't have time to watch now, watch it later. It's going to be an enjoying one. Oh yeah, so I did say sorry for you to the Williams. I'm not sure if it went through, or maybe I had the mic off when I was trying to say it. Clarky Boy saying, I wasn't instructed what car I was meant to go in. I am new here, so I don't know what to do. Alright, I think that's okay, no problem. I'm not sure if you're in the wrong car, if you're not supposed to be in, but anyway, you're doing pretty well, I'll say, Clark, because you're in P1 with a 127.4, the fastest lap, and you did that on mediums, as it looks there. So, good job on that. That's a pretty good lap. So yeah, once again, Yocto saying sorry to the Williams. So faster times have gone up on here. We got just about 2 minutes left in the session. That's ENMC, I think, going in there. Let's see who else is running. I got Ice Cream on another out lap. I think I got Deacon on a hot lap going here. Seems to be doing a better lap than he did before. Let's see if he's going to improve on his time. Do like these turns on this track, pretty interesting, and a very lovely straight going down here. Proved to be very good for overtaking if you have some decent straight line speed. And Joel is out of the session there now as well. The barriers are not that far off if you do get off track going at these speeds here. did not really improve on that time. Let's see if he can do a better lap. Slayer is beginning another hot lap here. Let's see if he can get into the 128s or so. Okay, so we're coming down to the end of qualifying here now. Just a few guys left running. I think Ice Cream is still on the out lap. I'm not sure if he's gonna make it in time. I don't know. It doesn't look like he's gonna make it in time to get another lap in. So that's gonna be it for qualifying here, because I don't think anyone else is left running. But we're still gonna wait for that final results table to come up and then just call out our starting grid for the Japanese Grand Prix. Still think this is gonna be quite an interesting session to watch. Thank you to everyone who's joining on the stream right now. If you're supporting any driver, do shout it out in chat. I'll let them know, because they're watching as well. Or they will be watching after they finish the race anyway. I know some drivers like to watch the stream as they are racing. Some guys like to focus a little bit more, so they don't watch it until after the race. And Walker just did the fastest lap of a 126.8. Now that is the only 126 we've had for this qualifying session. I don't think anyone else is out running to be able to beat that. So it looks like Walker is going to be starting on pole here. Joining him on that front row is going to be Clark with a 127.4, as it does seem. But let's wait until the end of the session. Never know what can change. Okay, so finally we come to the end of this session, as this final table is going to come up now, and let's see who qualified where. Alright, so there we have it. Walker starting on pole, Clarky Boy takes P2, Hazard is going to take P3, ENMC takes P4, JSAR starting in 5th, Yokto starting 6th, Ryan starting 7th, Angry Orange starting 8th, Joe starting 9th, Beefy starting 10th, Sanat 11th, Slayer 12th, Deacon at 13, Ice Stream is 14, James is 15. I don't think we have anyone else joining on. Not sure if we do. If we do see a 16 car, then somewhere else is starting. But that's going to be it for the starting grid for the Japanese Grand Prix here today on a Friday afternoon for me. and a Friday evening for some of you. So from wherever in the world you're joining us, welcome to a very interesting fundraiser we're about to have. Not sure if it's any other time of the day for some of you. I just know it's evening for some of us and afternoon for me. I forgot to have a look if we're having a formation lap. Either way, it doesn't really matter. If we're having one, we'll know. Okay, so they are off on their formation lap. Hopefully everyone gets off okay, as formation lap is generally where you just do a practice start. Car goes after car, after car, and after car. Everyone's supposed to go off in their respective order. I know some guys usually go off first. I don't know if there's any rule about it when we're league racing, but it's just a fun race, so it doesn't really matter. So as everyone, let me just get some stats up on screen before we do get going. We're gonna leave it to position change. I'm starting to do that now when we're starting a race, and Yokto has been disqualified for something, so he's going to be left on the starting grid, and he'll have his position. Oh, so there's pit stop strategy. So I guess we're either going to be one stopping it or two stopping it for this race, and that's how usually it will go. But let's see what kind of strategy these guys are really going to use. I think we can have a look at what tires they have on right now. So if you look at tires, we have only Clark out in front in the top 10, and Joel and BP as well. They're starting on mediums. Everyone else doing softs, and down at the back we have Slayer, Dikona, and James also starting on the mediums, and everyone else has opted to start on soft. So that's going to be a pretty interesting mix of strategies going around here. And it's a Williams on pole. Pretty interesting. Also guys, don't forget, I didn't put a post out for it as yet, but we do have, today is Friday, right? Yeah, it is Friday. So tomorrow Saturday we have All-Stars League racing tomorrow at Monaco. That's going to prove to be an interesting race. And I tried to put a commentator's curse on it so that it rains. Hopefully it rains. If it rains, I'll know that that works at least. I hope it rains. I want to see them struggle just a little bit. Let's see if they're going to even struggle. Who knows? Yes, so we're getting the grid lined up here now, and we're about to get going just about under 15 to 20 seconds here for the Japanese Grand Prix. And let's see how interesting of a race we're about to have. Alright, I think everyone is in place. We are just about ready to go. Those lights are going to start going on and then go off by the time it gets to 5. And here we go. What on earth has happened? I'm not sure if we're having a glitch or if Walker has just jumped the start. I absolutely have no idea what just happened. We have cars going up just about everywhere. Someone just went into the wall. Not sure what happened out front there for just a second. I'm a little bit confused by that. We do have a safety car for that incident. Some incidents happening down at the back there. We're not going to be able to see what it is exactly. Oh, and there is Joel. He was the one who went into that wall. So his Mercedes now without a front wing. He's going to have to pit definitely for that. Walker out in front in P1 still. It did seem like Walker jumped that start, but I'm not sure how true that is here. Sometimes you just can't you know, just believe what's happening on screen. The first 2 3 laps usually have some weird stuff happening on screen. In this game, still not being fixed by Codemaster. But let's see how it's going. So as it stands, it's Walker in P1 still under the safety car, Clark Boy still in P2, Hazard in P3, Sarge in P4, ANMC P5. I thought I changed something. Oh, never mind. Angry Orange in P6, Ryan running 7th, Yocto running 8th, Beefy 9th, Slayer 10th, Ice Cream 11th, Deacon at 12, Sanat 13, James 14, and Joel down to 15 now. So we're still going to be running under the safety car for just a bit more here, another 2 laps maybe, until that incident with, there's a car stuck on track. There's some sort of incident that happened, I assume, with Joel and someone maybe, which is why we're under a safety car. Don't worry about the graphic that says lap 3. It isn't lap 3 as yet, guys. We're just in lap 2 only here. So we're going to have to wait for that to just sort itself out as they're going to keep going, following under the safety car. Joel with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So I'm not talking, guys, just trying to have a look at what exactly is happening here on track. Okay, so I think our graphics is back up. Walker down into 11th. Went into the pits, I guess, there. So that puts Clarky Boy up into P1. Sarge now running P2. Angry Orange now running 3-3. And we go down to the rest of the grid. So still under a safety car right now, as we're just going to follow everyone around just for a bit and see what's exactly is going to be happening here. I really can't tell if we're racing or if it's still under a safety car. I have absolutely no clue what's going on. My screen is showing safety car, but it doesn't seem like that's what's happening on track. Graphic is just all messed up here right now. And yeah, we're still under the safety car, because there's a safety car running on track. So I think that's Clarky Boy now lining up behind the safety car. Yes, he does. Safety car getting onto the grass just a little bit there. How experienced is that safety car driver? Alright, so we're following these guys around now. Still on the safety car, we should be done with that pretty shortly. You're coming into the next lap, hopefully. And then just get back to racing again. I'm still trying to figure out and wrap my head around what exactly caused the safety car. I'm not sure as yet, because no one is out of the session. We started with 15, we still have 15 drivers, so what caused the safety car to happen? I know Joel went into a wall with his Mercedes, lost his front wing. I'm not sure if that's the incident that caused the safety car or not. But if it was just a minor incident, I assume it should have just been a VSC. I'm not sure what's happening here. Alright guys, going into lap 4 now, and we're still on the safety car, so I assume the safety car should be coming in on this lap. If it doesn't, then that's just weird. Alright guys, so let me get back onto here now and let's see what's happening. So everyone running on lap 4. We're still going around right now. We're in sector 2. So everyone's still following behind the safety car. We've been on this for just a bit from the start of the race going. We've been on safety car since about before lap 1 ended, I think. And it was Walker leading the race. He is now down into 9. Did take a pit stop under that safety car there. So we have Clarky Boy leading the race out front so far. So it's going to be a pretty good mix, a pretty good battle fighting for positions getting back to when we're getting back to racing down at the end of this lap, which it should be running on lap 4:27. So that's about 3 wasted laps here behind the safety car. Because that safety car really doesn't seem to want to go faster. So there you have it, race control, safety car in this lap. We are going to get back to racing now. Should be a good one. Let's see. So there you have Clarky Boy just bunching the field up just a bit as the safety car goes off into the distance there. And we're about to go around the final 2 corners here as we get onto the pit straight and get back to racing. And there they go. And it's 2 Ferraris leading the race, which is pretty interesting. Going down with the turn 1, let's see if we're going to have any more incidents happening, as it seems to be pretty fast paced going down. No one touching anyone as yet, no positions changing as yet. James is pretty close to Decona there, and James, remember, he started way down at the back, all the way up into P8 right now. We have positions changing out in front. Let's see how close the gap is between Beefy and Ryan right now. Beefy might be trying for a move coming out pretty soon here. Let's see if he can get it done. Remember, all he has to use currently is going to be the overtake, because there's going to be no DRS as yet until the race control enables that back. We have yellow flags in sectors 1 and 2, so we do have some guys going off track or something's happening there. That's down at the back of the field there. Of course, everyone seems to still be running in the race, so pretty good note on that. I think Angry Orange just gained it. Oh, someone has some problems here. Oh, J Sarge going for it on James. Let's see if he's going to get it done. I might have to hold it in 8 for now. Someone else did get a move done for a second there, though. Oh, going a bit wide. Oh, and that's a car out straight into the pit entrance there. The barrier on the pit entrance. That's a car out of the race. There should be a car out of the race. Why is it not out? What's happening? Trying to have a look. Oh, I think he just lost the front wing. I'm trying to... Oh, it was James. That was James. And we have a virtual safety car. What's wrong with my controller right now? Okay, so we are under a VSC. So quite a race we're having here so far. Lap 1 we get a safety car. We're on lap 6. We have a virtual safety car. I'm not 100% sure, guys, but I think that was James driving straight into the barrier on the pit entrance there. Might have misjudged that one just a bit. It's not that easy getting into that entrance and slowing that car down too. So can't say it's purposely done. It does happen. I've actually done it before, but I've done it at Hungary. Because I try to keep us so close to the barrier around Hungary going down around, and just one time just clip the car right into the barrier. So I can't say I'm surprised that it happened. Here at Japan, the way that pit entrance is, it does happen. Now we are back to racing. VSC is over. Have some close gaps down in the midfield going. I think we have someone's going for a move here. That's Slayer going for it on Ryan. Down able to get it down into turn 1. Gonna still hold it. Oh, and that is Slayer into the wall. He is out of this race. That's definitely out. We might have another VSC on our hands here. I'm not sure as yet, or if that car off the track enough to just continue for just a yellow flag here. So that's 2 drivers out of the race so far. And he was running all the way up into P4. And we have another virtual safety car. I called that one, yep. So we're only on lap 7 of 27. We have already had 1 safety car and 2 virtual safety cars here. Quite an exciting race. Clarky Boy leading out front in P1. Beefy holds P2 for the moment under the VSC. Angry Orange in P3. Ryan in P4. Hazard in P5. Walker P6. J South 7th. Ice Stream 8. Yocto 9th. Sana 10th. ENMC is 11. Joel is 12. Dekuna runs in 13 currently at the moment, and we should be ending the VSC here pretty soon as Clarky Boy gets disconnected from the session. That's not going to go down well as we get back started in this race. There's Beefy behind him, and Beefy is about 3.3 seconds behind. He's trying to catch up as much as he can without speeding under the VSC right now. So let's see how close Beefy can get as Clarky Boy car is... Oh, and we think we're getting back to racing now. We are getting back to racing, and Beefy has caught up to him just a bit there. And he has not got on back as yet. Now AIs usually drive the car when the driver gets disconnected, but it doesn't drive that well. So let's see how well this is going to go down now. As Beefy is coming around the turn, they're going just a little bit wide off that curve, but still keeping it. We got Walker just behind Hazard going here as well. Being chased by Sarge, another 0.3 seconds behind. So this is a pretty good battle going on for 4th here. I think Ryan is dropping down the field. Something might have happened. I'm not sure. I can't tell if he has any damage on that car. Doesn't seem like he do. Let's go back up here and see how that battle is unfolding. There's a close gap between Angry Orange and Sana there as well. As we're following Walker around the track right now. Please don't get distracted, drivers, if you're listening to the stream. I'm not sure if... Oh, and ENMC is out of the session as well. So ENMC, Slayer, and James, all 3 of them are out of the session as Walker goes a bit wide, losing time to Hazard. Oh no, sorry, yeah. Yeah, that was Walker going a bit wide, losing some time there. We have Ice Stream being chased down by Yocto right now as well. Yocto getting pretty close, trying to break that gap down and get as close as he can. So hopefully get some DRS if he can. And he is about to get DRS going down on the pit straight here. Oh, and the pit lane is open for whoever wants to go in. Not close enough on this occasion to get it done. We have Hazard pretty close out in front to Clarky Boy, who has not gotten back on as yet. Oh, and Clarky Boy cannot rejoin. If you can't rejoin, yes, you're possibly going to have to restart your entire PS4. It's happened to me before, even when I'm streaming and I try to get on back when I get disconnected. I can't do it. Sometimes it just doesn't allow me. I don't know. It's an error on Codemaster's side. It's not on our side. If you want to get back on, the only thing you can do, you got to restart the entire PS4 and then get on back again. That's the only thing I can suggest you do, Clarky. Because you're currently down into 5th, still running in the race. Beefy is now up into P1 running, has a gap of about 4.3 seconds between himself and Hazard running P2. Walker another 1.2 seconds behind. J Sard less than a second behind Walker right now. A few close gaps down at the back between Ryan and Dekuna there as well. Oh, and Yocto seems to have gotten a position of Clarky Boy there as well. Oh, it didn't work. Oh man, I'm so sorry you're not getting on back. And you were having a pretty good race out in front there. Sorry to see you out of the race, Clarky, but unfortunately I don't think there's anything you can do if you can't get back on. It's supposed to allow you, but it's an I don't think it's an error on the side of Codemasters. It's not internet, it's not on our side, not the PS4. It's basically the game doing this. Oh, and I think JSR just gained a position off of Walker here. So Walker just went down to P4. J Sarge up into P3. TTV Ryan is now chasing down Joel, trying to get a position down there. Get some more points in this race. Sorry to see you out, Rocky boy. Nothing more we can do there. So Walker desperately chasing down Sarge right now, trying to get that position back as we have Yocto extremely close to Ice Stream right now, trying to get a move done. Let's see if he can get done in the upcoming few corners here. He's going to have to find a pretty decent gap to get past, as it's not always that easy to find a good gap on a track like Japan. But we are coming up to a pretty good part of the track pretty soon here. Let's see if we can get anything done after this turn as we go on to a bit of a straight. If he has enough straight line speed, he might be able to get it done, as he does seem like he has it, but holding himself just behind Ice Cream right now. He should get, oh no, DRS here. Doesn't have a lot of overtake to use. Very dangerous to try a dive bomb coming down into this corner here. Gonna have to hold it for just a bit to see if he can get DRS, and he's gonna get it on the next DRS zone coming up right now. Let's see how close he can get to Ice Stream and if he can get him out coming down into turn 1. I'm not so sure he's gonna be able to do it. It's a pretty interesting corner, but not that easy to overtake on, because you're gonna be blocked off just on the inside. I have to break it, trying to hold it behind Ice Stream. Ice Stream now holding up Yocto here. He's not able to get past us yet. Some pretty tight and winding corners, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this is going to unfold. Let's see how Yocto can get this done, because he does seem to have the pace to get past Ice Stream here. Just trying to break himself just enough not to go into the back of Ice Stream, but enough to keep right on the rear of his car. So when, and let's see if he's going to get a move done coming here. Trying to use some overtake. Might be able to get it done if he can find the right gap to go on here. Keep it on the inside going. Not able to just find, and there we go. Got it done. Didn't go wide. He's gonna be able to keep that. Ice Stream moves up into P6. Very good move on him. Sorry, Yocto moved up into P5, I mean. So Ice Stream goes down to P6. Went a little bit wide off track there. Lost some time to Yocto. Sarge has a gap under a second between himself and Walker right now. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get anything done coming down here. He's going to have DRS going on the pit straight, and let's see if he can get he's definitely going to get a lot closer coming to turn 1, depending on the line he's going to take. Walker shedding some dust down his way, trying to block his view there. Walker is catching Hazard out in front as well, who's just about 1.3 seconds out in front of him. That gap breaking down as he's trying to get away from Sarge. Sarge doing a pretty good job. Sanat moving up some few positions. We have Yocto and Clarky Boy going into the pits, but of course Clarky Boy is not driving. That's his AI driving the car, so just ignore that for the time being. Sarge still keeping that gap under a second for the time being. Angry Orange down at the back in 12, keeping his gap between himself and Ryan down to a second as well. Walker has now broken the gap down between himself and Hazard to just under a second, so that's going to be a pretty interesting battle coming on pretty soon. Hazard has his own problem. He's trying to catch Beefy out in front, who's about 4 seconds in front of him, and that gap is increasing. So Beefy is doing an excellent job driving out in front. Gotta say congratulations to him, driving that well to try and build that gap as much as he can before he does do a pit stop here. And he's running on mediums, 11 laps old. Hazard is running on softs, 9 laps old. So they, the predicament here is that we're assuming Hazard is going to have to pit first because Beefy is running on medium here. Walker still keeping that gap just under a second between himself and Hazard. Gotten the gap over a second between himself and Sarge down behind him now. That gap has gone up to 1.8 seconds. So he's doing a pretty decent job catching Hazard out in front of him. It's just about how fast he can get a move done, or if he's going to try and get him on the pit stop rotation, I'm not sure. But because Walker is running on hards, so which means he doesn't have to pit for now. So definitely he's going to be chasing Hazard down, forcing Hazard to make a pit stop at some point here, because Hazard is going to have to work those tires a bit overtime, trying to keep Walker behind. Even though Walker is on a slower tire, he does have a lot of pace, keeping that gap below a second. So Hazard under a bit of pressure right now because he's still trying to break the gap between himself and Beefy down and trying to just keep Walker behind him as Walker is trying to come up beside him. Walker going just a little bit off track, not losing any time though, still on the rear end of Hazard's car. Going down here, let's see how close he's gonna get. He has the overtake to use, not using it as yet, just using his basic straight line pace going around here, and he definitely is going to be getting very close to him coming down into this part of the track. And there you go, have it. Yeah, he has gotten pretty close. Let's see if he's going to have DRS on this occasion. Oh, and Hazard goes into the pits, easily gets by. Walker is up into P2 now. Let's see if he can catch Beefy, who's 4.8 seconds out in front. Beefy and Walker, two pretty fast guys. So let's see who's going to prevail over this one. So Sarge now up into P3 as well. Let's see where Hazard comes out. He went on to mediums, which means he's probably going to push it down to the end of the race on those. So let's see where he comes out. He looks like he's coming out fourth. Yep, he's definitely going to keep it fourth for now. And that's going to be his final pit stop. So let's see. He's going to have to hope these guys in front of him go into the pits pretty soon so he can get a better time. You know, enough time to just get by and get back up into maybe P2 or P1 if he can. I think that was Yocto with the fastest time there. Let's see what other close gaps we have. We have Yocto just behind Joel right now, chasing him down. And let's see how that battle is going on. Ice Stream right in front of Joel at the moment too. So it's a three-way battle right now for P6. As we're going to follow these guys around and see how well this battle is going to go on, how long it's actually going to go on for. So all of these guys currently driving here pretty close in terms of, you know, race pace and stuff. So these guys are all pretty fast. So it's interesting to see how well they're doing. I remember they're doing actually a different mix of strategies here. Because some of these guys started on medium, some started on soft, and they were just a mix in the field of where they actually started on the grid. And oh, and Joel is out of the race. I'm not sure if we can see what happened there. Maybe from Clarky's car we might be able to. I'm not sure. Anyway, I don't see his car on track, so let's forget about that. I now think we're going to be able to see it. I'm not sure if we're going to have another virtual safety car for that incident. Whatever happened with Joel there. But we got Walker right on the tail of Beefy right now. We have a yellow flag all around. Trying to figure out if we're having a VSC. No, we're not having a VSC. We seem to be going back to racing. I'm not sure that graphic on screen is correct there because Walker is so close to BV right now. A gap cannot be 4.8 seconds. That gap is not changing for some reason. Let's just change that and see if we can get that working correctly. It's still not working correctly. Anyway, don't worry about that. Let's see who's running where. So Walker's still running second, just behind Beefy right now. Something strange happening anyway. We're not sure what's happening there. Let's leave that for a second. Why is the gap showing 1 lap now? So Clarky Boy's car now all the way down to 8, as everyone does get past him. Oh, hey Slayer. Oh, so that's what happened. So your wheel decided to recalibrate itself mid-race and ended up crashing into the wall. Yeah, that was actually pretty strange to see that happen, yeah. So sorry to see that happen to you. Oh, 5-second penalty for someone speeding in the pit lane. Not sure if our leaderboard is correct at the moment, guys, but it's just showing one lap behind for most of the cars here, so I'm not sure what's happening with that. Anyway, forget about that. We're just gonna have a look at how the racing is going anyway. Seems to be getting fixing itself somehow, hopefully. Let's see where we have a close gap happening right now. Everyone seems to be running their own race down at the back. Here, let's see. Oh, there we go. I think our gap. No, there we go. Our graphics is now fixed. The gap is half a second between Beefy and Walker. Let's see how that's gonna play out now. Of course, they're both Williams, so they're teammates on this one here. So let's see. If Walker is faster than Beefy right now on this track, is Beefy gonna let Walker go by? I'm not sure if they're communicating with each other on this one here. I know a lot of teammates usually communicate with each other in party chat when they're racing. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen on this occasion, or if anyone is in a general party chat. I have absolutely no idea. But I want to see if Beefy is gonna allow Walker to get past. If Walker is getting right up to the rear of his car and does seem to have more pace. Not sure yet, because remember, if Beefy holds Walker up, Sarge is going to catch up in that Alfa Romeo there, and that's not going to be good for either of them. They're going to want to keep those Williams P1, P2. So let's see what kind of strategy they're going to be running with here. Because they're running pretty close together. Under a second that gap is. I'm just looking at the gap. So Sarge is currently 5.4 seconds behind. 5.3 seconds now. Let's see if that gap is going to be breaking down. Oh, as Beefy pits and Walker goes out in front. So they'll probably have to be in communication and not pit at the same time here. So Beefy pits. Let's see how far he's going to be moving down. Sarge now running in second. Walker running P1 now, leading this race. Walker still might have to pit here. Yeah, he should have to pit at least one more time here, but I'm not sure because he's running on hards, which are 15 laps old, and we still have, let's see, 7, 8, 9, about 9 laps more to go. I'm not sure if those hards are going to be making 20 something laps on this track, but then don't count Walker out for that. He probably can pull it off. We never know. Alright, so Walker's still running out in P1. Sarge running 5.8 seconds behind him now. So seems like Walker might be gaining some time there, building that gap just a little bit. Hazard running in P3 to another 12 seconds behind Sarge. And Beefy came out on his pit stop, now running into P4 on softs. He's going all the way to the end on those. Has going to have a lot of decent pace to go with. And he's 1.4 seconds behind Hazard. So he's catching him at a decent pace right now. So we can have a look right there as we're going. Ice Cream another 17 seconds behind in P5. Angry Orange running P6. Dekuna running 7th. Yokta running 8th. Senate running 9th. Ryan running 10th. And Clock Boy's car is running 11th. So Joel, ENMC, Slayer, and James out of this session. We're going to keep an eye on this battle as it goes on. As Ryan goes past Sanat there. Let's see how close these two are together. Oh, and Sanat seems to be disconnected here as well. So 2 guys disconnected from the session. I'm not sure if Sanat is going to be able to get back on here. But we do seem to have some issues going on this afternoon. Alright, let's get back out in front and see how the Beefy is now up into P3. He's gotten past Sarge, who was up into P3. He's now heading out in front to Hazard. Less than a second that gap is between Beefy and Hazard right now. So Beefy is getting back up into P2 here. And Walker out in front, 16 seconds that gap is. He's going to have to pit here pretty soon. I'm not sure if he's really going to be pushing those tires all the way to the end, or if he's going to be pitting, and he might be coming out back either in second or third. I think in third, because it depends on the time he takes to make that pit stop. So Beefy is working overtime, trying to catch Hazard and get back that P2 right now, because Hazard is not going to be pitting again. Sanat is currently in the pits. Not sure if he's still disconnected. Let's have a look. Might still be disconnected there. Oh, this gap is so close. Let's see. We might have a go of beef between BC and Hazard right now. So Beefy not particularly close enough on this occasion to get a really good gap going here, to find that correct gap to get past Hazard. Hazard doing some pretty good driving on those mediums as well, keeping Beefy on his fresh softs behind him. Not easy to do that with a guy like Beefy. He drives pretty fast and he's pretty consistent as well. Oh, Walker out in front doing an excellent job keeping Hazard behind. It's 15 seconds that gap is now. So he's still keeping him quite a bit away behind there. I think he's trying to build a gap enough to get into the pits and get her back in time. It's now about 7.5 laps left in the race or so here, as we're on lap 20 of 27. Daycona with a 3-second penalty. So we're going to see how the penalties play themselves out coming down to the end of this race as well, as we have a yellow flag in sector 1 for someone probably going off track just a little bit there. Virtual safety car. Angry Orange is out of the race. I'm not sure if we can see what happened. And there is his car in the wall down on the right side there as we did go past. And yeah, we're having a look at it again. So Angry Orange out of the race as well. Sorry to see you out of the race, Angry Orange. You were having a pretty good race up into the points there in the race. So let's get out back out in front. So that's, I think, our third virtual safety car for this race so far. 1 safety car, 3 VSCs. Oh, we're probably going for a record on this one here. So it's been quite an interesting race for this afternoon between these guys. Probably pretty good drivers, I gotta say. You know, incidents do happen on track sometimes. As we have a message from Slayer there. His wheel decided to recalibrate itself. You know, stuff like that does happen as well. And Clarky Boy was not able to get back on the game, so sorry he cannot get back on. And Slayer is out of the race. Now Clarky Boy's car is still running in P9 in the points. Senat is going to get past that here pretty soon, hopefully. So we're back to racing again, as Beefy is going to continue to chase down Hazard, who's just about half a second in front of him. Let's see how fast that Williams of Beefy is. His teammate out in front running 14.7 seconds. Gap is starting to come down now. So is Walker going to be able to pit and come back and get back in front of Hazard? I'm not so sure. He might be able to get into P3 when he comes out back at that pit, but he's going to have to really work at it to get back and get past Hazard here, because Hazard will move up into P1 if he does pit. That will put Beefy into P2 and he will come out probably in P3, I assume he will, and have Sarge just behind him, or Sarge can actually do a really good lap and get in front of him. Possible as well to see that happen. So 10 drivers remain in the race. We started with the 15. 5 drivers are currently out. We're still following everyone along. Let's see how Yocto is going here. He has Deacon just in front of him in plain sight view there. Trying to catch him. Gap is about 2 seconds right now. Ryan with a 3-second penalty there right now. Going back out front here. Gap is still under a second between Hazard and Beefy. Once again, guys, thank you to everyone who has watched the stream and everyone who will watch the stream. Share it around as much as you can, guys. It's a lot of fun doing these races, and it's been a lot of fun watching this race, I gotta tell you. A pretty interesting one. 1 safety car, 3 VSCs. Let's don't count it out though. It's still about 5 laps remaining here. It's anything possible could happen in those remaining 5 laps. So let's see how it goes. Beefy losing some time now. Gap has gone up to 1.5 seconds between Hazard and him. and gap is being broken down. But Hazard is doing some excellent driving. I gotta put say compliments to him here because he's doing some excellent driving. He's increased the gap between himself and Beefy down behind and decreased the gap between himself and Walker out in front. It was about 16 seconds. That gap is now down to 12.6 seconds, and it keeps going down, which means Hazard is catching Walker, and Walker is desperately going to have to try and hold on to those tires, which are now 20 laps old, as he's still going on them. I'm not sure how much longer Walker is going to be able to hold out on those tires, but it looks like he's going to be trying to push them all the way down to the end of this race just to hold on to pole position here. But does Hazard have enough laps remaining in the race to catch Walker and actually get a move done? Walker's a pretty good guy at saving tires as well, so I can't count him out for this. He can push those tires all the way down to the end, it looks like, and he probably can keep Hazard behind because he's trying to, as much as he can, to stay out front as much as, and keep as much of a gap as he can there. And Beefy is just fighting it, trying to break that gap down again here to under a second, to hopefully get DRS and get a move done on Hazard. It's not so easy finding a gap here as well, as we have Sargent fourth. About 7.4 seconds is that gap. He's not getting out in front as yet. I think someone is disconnected here. Oh, that was just Clocky Boy's car in the way there. They're just gonna get past that because that's ghosted. Gap still around 1.4 seconds, so still nothing really happening here. Gap looks like it's about to go under 12 seconds there in between Walker and Hazard. This Walker is desperately trying out front. Hazard about another 3.5 laps to go on those tires if he can really make it, and it looks like he's going to be able to make it on them. Interview after the race. Actually, yeah, I'm up for doing an interview after this race if we can get these guys into a party chat. So for the if you're on, and if you have everyone who is currently running out in front on your PSN, probably what you can do is create a party chat and invite them quickly for me and invite me to it as well. I'm not sure if you have me on PSN, but Walker has me, Beefy has me, and it looks like either of the two of them are going to be in the top 3 here. So somebody just invite me to a quick party chat and we can do a quick interview at the end of this race and just talk a bit about how it went down. I'm up for that. Or just send me a friend request. I'll just accept it on my phone so I don't have to get off the screen for the stream here. So when the session comes down to the end, you can just invite me to the party chat, because I'm in a private party chat with myself, so that anyone else's voice doesn't get on the stream until I'm actually ready for that to happen. So yeah, if you can do that, Yocto, that would be pretty good. Just send me an invite after you've send me a friend request, and then you'll be able to send me an invite there. I'll accept the invite on my phone if you send it in. So still Beefy chasing. Oh, the gap is pretty close now. Let's see, it's 0.3 of a second, 0.5 of a second, a half a second gap. So just so limited amount of laps remaining for Beefy to get this done. I'm not sure how many of you guys think Beefy is going to be able to get this done, but he's pushing really hard to get it. And Walker is trying to stay out in front, but Hazard has that gap down to 9.9 seconds right now. Yocto's car driving in the middle of the battle out in front. I think he's probably letting them go by. Yeah, Beefy is fighting really hard with his car right now just to try and break that gap and just trying to get past, because we're on lap 25 going and we're coming down to the end of this lap here pretty soon, as we're already in sector 2 going. It's going to be lap 26 soon, so just about two and a quarter of a lap remaining for Beefy to get this done. Gaps down at the back are not that close. The closest gap down at the back will be Ryan between Yocto, who's 5.5 seconds behind him. Let's have a look at that, how that's going. Oh, and Yocto with the fastest lap of a 129.5, so he's doing pretty well where he is right now. going back out front, following Beefy right now, trying to see if he really can get this done. Going a little bit on the outside, trying here, working his racing line, trying to get a better exit off these turns. It's all about entry and exit into most of these turns here, basically for almost every track. So you can catch a car in front of you and then actually get a move done. That gap is under a second, but Beefy is just not finding a way to get past Hazard here. And Hazard breaking the gap down to 7.1 seconds between himself and Walker out in front. That gap is just going to keep going down. And we're already on lap 26 going, so I'm not sure if Hazard has enough time to get this done, but it's still going to be a pretty close finish here. But stay tuned, guys. We're going to try and see if you can get an interview done at the end of this race, as we do come down to the end of it. That gap is still under a second. It's not budging really anywhere. It's just going a bit up and a bit down. But the gap out in front between Walker and Hazard is now getting much lower, 5.6 seconds, 5.5 seconds now. That gap is breaking down, and we're on the final lap of this race going. Oh, and that's Walker's car into the wall. He's out of the race. Walker just messed it up. I'm not sure what happened, but he is already out of the session. He has lost it straight into the wall. Goes hit Walker. So as I said, guys, anything can happen in the final lap of a race, and this is just goes to show what can actually happen. So Hazard now takes the lead of the race. Beefy desperately fighting still to get up into P1 now instead of P2. Still under a second. That gap is as we come down to the final part. Well, we're still in Sector 2, but the final lap of this race. And that is so sad to see Walker out of the session. I can't believe that actually just happened. I think he probably just lost the rear end and just threw that car into the wall there. I'm not sure, because he was pushing pretty hard to make sure that Hazard didn't catch him and get past. So it's so sad to see that happen. Sorry to see you out to the race, Walker. You ran a pretty good race, man. Really enjoyed watching that. But that gap was coming down pretty fast. I don't think Hazard was going to be able to get that done, but he just put Walker under a lot of pressure there. As Hazard comes around now to the final turn to go over, and let's see if penalties are going to play out between Hazard and Beefy here. Hazard is going to cross the line P1, Beefy comes across P2, and Sarge is coming around, and he should be getting P3. So if someone can get Hazard, Beefy, and Sarge. Beefy, if you're watching, can you invite the two guys and invite me as well to a party chat so we can do a quick interview with you guys? Because Hazard is now P1, Beefy takes P2, Sarge takes P3, Ice Cream should be coming in for P4. So that's Ice Stream in P4. Deacon is going to come into P5. And that is the end of the Japanese Grand Prix here for this afternoon's race, guys. Quite an interesting end to it. Didn't see that coming with Walker there. And driver of the day goes to Ice Stream. Congratulations to him. I'm waiting to see if we're gonna be able to have any interviews happen here, guys. So let's see the final table as it stands, as we possibly wait for a invite for a quick interview with these guys, a quick word with them. So Hazard takes P1, BP takes P2, Sarge goes P3, Ice Cream takes P4, and gets driver of the day. Dekuna takes P5, Walker takes P6 in that session there. Yocto takes P7, Ryan takes P8, Clarky Boy's car finishes 9th, Sana takes 10th, Angry Orange goes in 11th, Joe 12th, ENMC 13th, Slayer 14th, James 15th. So quite a few cars did not get to finish this race. So sorry to see that happen, but nothing we can really can do. Oh guys, I don't think we're set up to have any views happen for this afternoon, but hopefully for the next one we can set that up. No problem. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you're not subscribed, do subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot. And for everyone who did watch today, thank you guys very much. Everyone who shared the stream out, thank you guys also for that.